All right, so we're going to do change of state GDRAW, or you can draw the changes of state on paper, your choice. The assignment is on Google Classroom. If you choose to do it on paper, make sure to take a picture of what you did, and put it inside the Google Drawing file. Anyways, let me go to Google Classroom here, and you will see that it says due today, change of state GDRAW. So we're going to work on drawing the three basic states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, including how the molecules are arranged in them. We're going to use arrows or swooshy lines or some other way of showing how the molecules move in each state. And we're going to write 2 sentences about solids, about how the particles are locked and vibrating. We're going to write 2 sentences about liquids and then 2 sentences about gases. And then we can draw some arrows to represent each change. So the goal would be to have something like this. I drew this. Each of these is a separate circle. Yours doesn't have to end up looking this good. This took a lot of work for me, but I'll demonstrate some of the skills on here. Or if you're like, Mr. Stevens, I'd rather just follow the directions and do this on paper because GDRAW is challenging for me, that's an option too. I just really like it because I'm not that great at drawing and I can make things look pretty good on here. And I don't know, it gives you a chance to learn some graphic design too while you're at it. So you'll use the file I already made a copy of for you on Google Classroom. I'm just going to make a fresh one here. So I can show you some of these things. So to make a particle that represented a molecule, and I know we could represent like a water molecule with 3 dots if we wanted, where we had an oxygen and then 2 hydrogens stuck to it and group those together. But a lot of the time, so we can just represent any kind of particle, including a molecule, as one circle, just to simplify things. I'm going to do fill color up here after I make that circle. I did the circle tool there under shapes. And I like gradients. I don't know why, they make things pop pretty well. Nah, I'm not going to do a gradient. I'm going to do a flat color. Instead of doing soda this time, maybe I'll do like a blue liquid. Yeah, that'll be fun. Alrighty. And then I want to make multiple of these to make my solid. So I'm just going to press Control D, which duplicates this, and then put it in place. Control D. I'm going to make a few of these. Control D. All right, now that I have 4, I'm going to speed things up. I'm going to grab all of these by clicking here and dragging, and then I can duplicate these 4 at a time and move them into place. Then I can grab all 8 of these, duplicate them, boom. Now, if I want to make this 3D, which you don't have to do, that could just be your solid. It's arranged in a crystalline structure. It's the particles are locked in place, but I'm going to make this a little 3D. I'm going to grab all of these. I'm going to press Control D, and I duplicated them. I'm going to make them a little lighter, just to, I don't know. No, that doesn't look very good. Just to add some semblance of shading. I'm going to press Control D again to duplicate the stack I already made. I'm going to make it just a smidge lighter. And that doesn't look that great. Maybe the first layer should have been a different shade, but okay, it'll work. So I'm going to put that in a container. The last time I did, a cylindrical container. This time, maybe I'll put them in a box-shaped container. I don't know, why not, huh? Not all containers are cylinders. I don't like the direction that's facing. So I'm going to touch it with 2 fingers. I'm going to rotate. I'm going to flip it horizontally. That way it's kind of going the same way as the thing I'm back here. All right, and then I'm going to press Order. 2 fingers again, go to Order. And I'm going to put this all the way on the bottom. A lot of kids actually send backward, which will put it only behind 1 dot. I want it behind everything. So I'm going to go to Order and choose the bottom and send it back. There we go. So now I've got a container with my solid in it. I need to add something to show it's vibrating. This is the best way I could come up with it, was using the scribble tool and just kind of putting these little, like, I don't know. I imagine if I drew a cartoon, like a still cartoon, like one in the newspaper, I'd use something like this to show that they're shaking in place. You could pick how to show those particles are moving, but that's the best I could do for drawing how to do that. Then I can put a text box down here and I can write my 2 sentences about a solid. Let's see what I wrote the last time I did this. I wrote solid particles are locked together and vibrate. Ooh, but I didn't write anything about their shape or anything. Okay, I'm going to write 2 sentences this time. Solids, particles are locked and vibrate. I could talk about how they vibrate slower when they're colder solids and faster when they're hot solids. That could be a second sentence. Or maybe I could write a solids maintain their shape and do not take the shape of their container. Or I could have written about how you get slower, faster vibration. If I wanted to make this look really nice, I could give this a filled background color, but I don't really have to. That's up to you guys. Cool, so I got solid here. Let me widen this. I'm gonna need room for liquid and gas. And then when heat's added to a solid, enough for it to reach its melting point, it melts to become a liquid. I'm gonna put melting, I want that arrow to look hot, so let's make it, bright red seems a little too hot for melting. I'm just gonna do kind of pinkish red, your choice. And then I need to make a liquid. Now, I don't feel like remaking all these particles, so I'm actually gonna grab all of this right here. I'm gonna press Control D as in dog to duplicate it. And now I just need to change the way it moves and the way they're arranged in order to have a liquid. So the liquid with gravity on, because we're doing a model with gravity, should have particles that go to the bottom of the container. Maybe I made this container too big. Oh well, it'll still work. And take the shape of their container. I guess it could just be like one small ice cube in a big container, huh? And we put these down here. I wish the lines of the container went over the particles. There is a way for me to do that, but I don't think I'm gonna go into that with you guys. I could even grab multiple of these and start moving them down and around, but I could eventually arrange these into a liquid arrangement where they don't hold their shape. And then I'm gonna write down here, text box, about what liquids do. I think I can make that better. They should be closer to each other, huh? That will look a little too gaseous. They're a little too spread out. Anyhow, I'll get these arranged. And here's what a completed one can look like. I'd like you to make one. If you want to use GDRAW because you like doing GDRAWs like I like doing GDRAWs, go for it. I must say I should probably have a second sentence in each of these. I think I simplified it for background. I took the second sentence out. But, oh, you know what? Press Control Z, maybe my sentences will come back in. Let's see. I need to use this on a test. So I had 2 sentences in each one. Kids had to fill in everything for a test. See how there were like letters and stuff. But anyhow, so 2 sentences about each. The changes in between. You could GDRAW, you could regular draw.